Dear students, now in Unit 5, we are going to see another topic called as electrodynamometer type. So far, we have seen about permanent magnet moving coil and moving ion instruments. We have seen this one is the third instrument that is called as electrodynamometer type. So here in this slide, so you are seeing the circuit diagram of a electrodynamometer type. An electrodynamometer type instrument is used for the measurement of AC and DC quantities. Unlike a PMMC, it is PMMC actually it was a measure used for the DC quantities, and a MI that is a moving ion is used for AC quantities. Okay, so this electrodynamometer type instrument is a transfer instrument which is calibrated with a DC source and without using any modifications. The same instrument can be used for AC measurement also with the same accuracy. So therefore, so this type of instrument is often used in AC voltmeters and ammeters with high accuracy with small modifications. So this electrodynamometer type instrument is used both AC and DC quantities. The electrodynamometer type instrument, which is similar to PMMC type instrument only, except for the permanent magnet used in PMMC type, is replaced with another fixed coil. Okay, that generates the necessary magnetic field. So now here in this diagram you are seeing no, so two coils. The first one is nothing but the fixed coil and the second one is nothing but the moving coil. Okay, so the fixed coil, if you see the first diagram and second diagram, okay, so the fixed coil is nothing but a current coil, and if you see in first diagram and second diagram, the moving coil is nothing but the pressure coil. And if you see, this fixed coil is connected to the supply voltage and through the load, right? Okay, and the moving coil, which is a pressure coil, is connected across the load. So you can observe whatever I said now, you can observe in these diagrams, 1 and 2 diagrams, right? Okay, so that is the fixed coil is connected in between supply and the load. That fixed coil is nothing but the current coil, and the next one is moving coil. So that moving coil is nothing but the connected across the load, right? Okay, now, so as I said, these are the two important components, right? Okay, the first component is fixed coil and second component is a moving coil. So by this time, as you know already, by this time you can guess there are two important components in electrodynamometer wattmeter. The first one is fixed coil and second one is the moving coil. So let me talk about fixed coil first. That is, so this air core varnished coil. Okay, so this coil is nothing but the air core varnished coil is used to generate the necessary magnetic field required for the operation of the instrument, and a uniform magnetic field is obtained near the center of the coil. As a fixed coil is divided into two sections, okay, you can see here two sections, it is divided into two sections. If the instrument is used as an ammeter or voltmeter, the fixed coil are wound with thin wire and heavy wire respectively. So they are actually clamped in place against the coil support, which is made up of ceramic. So this is called as the fixed coil. Now if you see moving coil, so moving coil is nothing but moving air cooled light and rigid coil is wound as a self-sustaining coil or a non-metallic coil. Okay, so these are the and construction wise of a fixed and the moving coil. Yes, as I said, the fixed coil is connected in series with the load and it carries the current. Fixed coil are also called as the field coil or current coil. Again, I repeat, I am repeating the same thing only. So moving coil is connected across the load and it carries the current proportional to the voltage across the load. It is also called as the potential or voltage coil. Yes. So fixed coil is a properly laminated. Why? Because to avoid the eddy current losses. And the maximum current range of wattmeter is about 20 amps. And if you see the moving coil, the voltage rating of the wattmeter is limited to 600 volt. And now, so you know very well, in instruments there are actually a three type of torque. Okay, so there is controlling torque, damping torque. So okay, deflecting torque, controlling torque, and damping torque. There are in instruments. So once again I'm repeating. So in instruments there are three different type of torque. First one is the deflecting torque, second one is the controlling torque, and third one is the damping torque. Okay, now here what is the controlling torque used in the dynamometer type wattmeter is nothing but the control torque is provided by the springs. Okay, through springs, okay, the torque can be controlled here. Okay, through springs we can control the pointer actually here we can say. Okay, and now the next one is a damping torque. Of course, here the damping torque is air friction damping torque is used. Now, what are the pointer and scale? Here, the pointers used is a knife edge pointer, and a mirror type scale is used to avoid the parallax error while taking the readings. Now, what is the working principle of this electrodynamometer type wattmeter is when the electrodynamometer instrument is used as an ammeter, both the fixed and moving coils are connected in series to carry the same current. To limit the current that is flowing through these coils, a suitable shunt resistance is connected to these coils. Okay, as if you see the static slides, okay, you will be better known that is resistance is connected in these coils. Okay, in order to limit the current. But when the electrodynamometer instrument is used as a voltmeter, the fixed and moving coils are connected in series with high non-inductive coils. When the current starts flowing through both the coils, a magnetic field is produced. Actually, a magnetic field is produced. Okay, when the current starts flowing through the both the coils, the magnetic field produced by the fixed coil is proportional to the load current, and the magnetic field produced by the moving coil is proportional to the voltage. Okay, that means fixed coil is produced load current and moving coil produced voltage. Now the deflection torque is produced due to the interaction of these two fields. Okay, obviously the deflecting torque when the pointer will deflect means between the interaction of two fluxes. Okay, so what are the two fluxes here? One is the current produced load current that is due to the fixed coil, and the second one is the voltage due to the moving coil. So if these two fluxes interacts, the deflecting torque is produced, and the deflection indicates by the point is proportional to the power supplied to the load. That is a very simple principle of a electrodynamometer type wattmeter. Okay, so in this electrodynamometer type wattmeter, your torque equation, yes, of course. So this is the a basic circuit diagram of a torque. Now we will see the a torque equation quickly. Here, there are two coils dividing into two coils. The fixed coil is dividing into two coils. Okay, so the coils are the flux linkages of coil 1 and 2 are given by this one. Phi 1 is equal to L1 I1 plus M into I2, and phi 2 is equal to L2 I2 plus M into I1. Now the induced EMFs in the fixed and moving coils are given by E1 and E2, and the electrical input is given by EI is equal to E1 I1 dt plus E2 I2 dt. So using the 6.13 above equation, okay, we can get E1 EI is equal to, okay, so I1 into d phi 1 plus I2 into d phi 2. Now substitute this first equation, that is 6.12 in the above equation means, so if you substitute this and you will get the equation as EI is equal to this big equation. EI is equal to I1 L1 DI1 plus I square DL1 plus I1 I2 DM plus I1 M into DI2 plus I2 L2 DI2 plus I square DL2 plus I1 I2 DM plus I2 M into DI1. It is very simple derivation only. So if you substitute 6.12 in above equation, you can get this E I. Now you know very well the energy stored in the magnetic field is given by ES is equal to, that is half L1 I1 square plus half L2 I2 square plus I1 I2 M. Okay. So now what you have to do is the energy, the change in energy stored is given by. So that is the change in energy stored you are going to find out. So that will become a 6.15 equation. Now, according to the principle of conservation of energy, so we know that input energy is equal to energy stored plus mechanical energy. So from this, we can find out what is mechanical energy. So that is nothing but the half I1 square dl1 plus half I2 square dl2 plus I1 I2 dm. Since the self inductances here is a constant, so therefore we can assume dl1 is equal to dl2 is equal to 0. Therefore, the mechanical energy is equal to I1 I2 dm. Now, let us take Td is the instantaneous deflecting torque and d theta is the change in deflection. Then the mechanical work done is given by Td into d theta. So therefore, the finally we can say mechanical energy I1 I2 dm is equal to Td d theta. And hence the instantaneous deflecting torque is given by the equation Td is equal to I1 I2 dm by d theta. So this is the deflecting torque equation. So as I said earlier, this dynamometer type voltmeter is used for both the DC and AC operation. So if you take a DC operation, so if the controlling torque is equal to, if in a balanced condition, obviously controlling torque is equal to deflecting torque. So TD is equal to TC. Okay, so you know TD is I1 I2 dm by dt d theta, and TC is nothing but a Ks into theta. That is a Ks, it is a constant Ks into theta. So from this we can find out theta is equal to 1 by Ks I1 I2 dm by d theta. So it is clear that the deflection of the moving coil is proportional to the fixed and the moving coil currents and the rate of change of mutual inductance. So this is for about the when the instrument is a DC operation. If the same instrument is operating in a AC, then you have to take over a cycle, right? That means TD is equal to 1 by T integration of 0 to T I1 I2 dm by dt. That means if the fixed and moving coils are sinusoidal and displaced by a phase angle means, then I1 is equal to Im1 sin omega t and I2 is equal to Im2 sin omega t minus phi, where Im1 and Im2 are the, you know very well, maximum values of the respective currents. So substitute these values in the above equations, then obviously you will get so TD is equal to Im1 Im2 by 2 TDM by d theta into cos phi, where if you have to take the RMS values, right? Okay, you know very well the RMS values, okay, is equal to maximum by root 2, that is Im1 by root 2 and Im2 by root 2. So therefore finally you are getting the equation TD is equal to I1 I2 dm by d theta cos phi. Again you know very well in balanced condition TD is equal to TC. Therefore, Ks theta is equal to I1 I2 dm by d theta cos phi. So finally, you are getting theta is equal to 1 by Ks I1 I2 cos phi to dm by d theta. So that means again you are getting in AC operation also it is clear that it is proportional to the deflection of the moving coil is proportional to the fixed moving coil currents, cosine of the phase angle and the rate of change of mutual inductance. So whether the instrument is operating in DC or AC, the concept is same only. The concept is not changed. The concept is same only. Yeah, coming to the advantages. So this electrodynamometer type wattmeter is free from hysteresis and eddy current losses, and it is because it is a air cooled coils, and the precision rating is very security and very high. Okay, and it is obviously it is used for both AC and DC. Again, I said free from hysteresis errors, lower power consumption, and light lane. If you see disadvantages, it has frictional errors. That is one main drawback of this electrodynamometer type. So low torque to weight ratio, more expensive when compared to PMMC or MI instrument. Okay, when compared to PMMC and MI, it is more expensive only, but otherwise it is very less. Okay, so sensitive to overloads and mechanical impacts. So these are the disadvantages. And applications, as I said, it is useful for both ammeter and as well as the voltmeter, and also of course wattmeter. So finally, these are the errors in electrodynamometer type wattmeter. So that is error due to pressure coil capacitance, error due to effect of mutual inductance. Of course, shape magnetic field error will be there, and temperature error will be there. So error caused by vibration of the moving system, and these are the sum of the errors in a electrodynamometer type wattmeter. So that's all about your working principle of electrodynamometer type wattmeter and its torque derivation. Thank you for listening. Thank you.